Episode 12. Ryan's laughing off the rip. Cam, Rye Brand. I'm fresh off Metro North, back from the game. The worst scheduled series in the history of sports has concluded. The Yankees have defeated the Cleveland bloopers, whatever you want to call them. And we are headed on to the
Cleveland
ALCS.
bloopers, he says.
And
Took
here
me a
we
while
go
to get
again.
that.
Here we go again.
Dude, that series was just way more difficult.
Let's talk about that
just
series
way
for a
more
little bit.
difficult and way more obnoxious than it really needed to be.
You know who I'm going to blame for all of it?
Manfred?
Yeah,
It's
I'm
not
going to blame
just
Manfred
him.
for all of it. Because,
It's MLB. Yeah.
Yeah, and who runs MLB?
I know, he's
the
the
commissioner.
scapegoat guy.
Well,
So,
he's not.
yeah.
He's the leader of Major League Baseball, and he sets up this weird new playoff format where is it a coincidence? And you guys can say yes or no. Is it a coincidence that in the first year of this new format, the guys that have the best records get to sit on ice for a week, and then you get two of them get bounced, one of them goes straight to the wire to move on? Like, is that a coincidence,
No,
or is
honestly,
that
that's-
scheduling shit?
That's just baseball.
Yeah,
honestly.
no,
I'm more. The only gripe here is the day off between game 1 and 2 is inexcusable, and it obviously, all right. The rain could not have been more biblically, perfectly, terribly timed to be as much of a nuisance as it actually became.
They also probably
But
should
the
have played
only-
last night.
They easily could have. played.
100% should have played last night. That was actually a
Easily could have
disgrace
played
that they
last
didn't
night.
play last night.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I wrote something in the community tab right there. A couple of people looked at that because I was seething last night.
I mean, Cam and I were in the building, sitting there for, I don't know, 3 hours, 4 hours. We're
4.
sitting there just because it's always weird when you see the rain falling when it's in the lights. It always looks
Right.
way
It
more.
looks harder than what it
looks
is,
way more
yeah.
aggressive than it actually is. And then I would
Yeah.
walk out into the area of the stands where you're not covered by the roof, and I'm like, dude, it's drizzling out. Like
Literally.
drizzling. And then everybody left the stadium.
Drizzle.
Everyone left the stadium yesterday. We get outside, literally not raining or just a slight drizzle at 9:45. And I'm like,
I
dude,
heard.
what? are
I
we
was in and
doing?
out of the car a little bit. I was in and out of the car a little bit during that rain delay. And McPherson kept talking about the fact that, well, and he didn't necessarily agree with it, but he was giving this rationale. He was like, well, it's a do or die game. All these teams want to make sure they're playing on the best surface possible. They're playing in the best conditions possible. I'm like, what the?
Bro.
Both teams have to play in the same condition on the same field. There's no advantage anywhere. So if it's drizzling, go play. Go play.
And all I had in mind was basically what happened tonight. We won tonight. Very happy about that. But we got to fly across the country to face Houston tomorrow against Verlander. So I'm like, dude,
Right.
we needed to play last night to give us a day's rest to get acclimated and get.
All right, but hold on. Let's see if my theory, because I really do. I think you guys like shoo it off too quickly. I think there's something to be said about the fact that Atlanta, the Dodgers, us, and Houston's the only one that made it through easily. That sitting around for a week while other teams play is a disadvantage in a sport like baseball. I said it last week. I said, this is the first time in a long time this is the first time since spring training guys are going to go a week without an at bat, and you guys kind of shoot it off. Maybe it's something. Maybe it's nothing.
It is something.
But I mean,
it's what it is.
Now, so how much of that now can you roll into the fact that Houston now hasn't played in 5 days?
I want to say something.
No, it hasn't been that long. I'm sorry. When was their last game? Saturday?
3 days. Not that long.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
No, they played.
Saturday. Saturday they had that 18-inning nothing game.
They played 2 games.
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, so they've had Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So that's not as much of a factor. Never mind there.
All right, I'm going to spin this all into a positive right now.
Yeah, let's get positive. Let's get positive.
Yes.
No,
let's
we
do it.
will.
We're
We will.
playing
I'm just
to go to the World
yeah.
Series. So this whole series, okay, honestly a travesty, in multiple ways. So we just got over the scheduling was inexcusably bad.
We said that before the series started. We're like, why is there a day off?
So no, let me continue. Let me continue here. So that was terrible. Boone managing basically almost lost the entire season for us. Terrible. Do you want to know why this is actually a positive here? I've been an IKF defender for a long time now.
We all have.
He can't be playing shortstop for us at this point. We've all seen it. If this series, if we don't lose those games that we lost, if let's say the Yankees did take this in 3, as we thought they would, as they should have, he would be playing shortstop for us the whole way through. The positive here is the Boone bullpen poor managing, which we saw with Schmidt coming in to close out a game, which made no sense. Not using defensive replacements, which made no sense. Having a guy who's bad at shortstop play shortstop, which made no sense. All 3 of those things got forced into the light because all 3 of those things caused us to lose the 2 games that we lost, and all 3 of those things have now been addressed. He made the move. IKF is no longer playing shortstop. That's a positive thing. He's made the moves now where Clay has come in high leverage spots, which we can talk about that. I'm not a big Clay guy, but just using the bullpen in a way, using the bullpen in a way that makes sense, where you're not just having Loaizaga go in and throw 14 pitches and then take him out, and then have Wandy go in and throw 14 pitches and take him out, when they clearly can get more outs. And Hicks got punched in the face by Cabrera today, so he's out. Whatever, but
no, it's a knee injury. He's done for the playoffs.
Oh, okay. I actually didn't see it close up. I could pull that.
It looked like an ACL type of deal with the way his knee bent.
I feel pretty bad for Hicks, to be honest.
No, I mean, how can you not? How can you not? The guy's season just ended on his way to the ALCS.
He's had one of the worst seasons I've ever seen.
All right,
and then it ends on a bad.
Hicks is out,
but whatever.
So is that not? Did everything I just said, though, is that not positive that we are now going into this next series? Sure, we're at a pretty massive, on paper, disadvantage with a ridiculous poor pitching matchup for us in Game 1 here. But I really do believe the team now had been forced into a position to do what, like, everybody had been crying about. And you know how stubborn the Yankees are. They'd rather lose than be wrong, right? Whatever it was. Or they'd rather be right than win, right? They were just ride or dying to a point where they literally were on the brink of losing a series to a purely inferior team. Cleveland is inferior to the New York Yankees.
Hold on. I think to an extent
I know,
here,
they get hits, right? They're not better than us.
No, that's not what I was going to say. To an extent, you got to tip your cap to Cleveland here. First and foremost, they won 92 games. I know they play in a bad division, but they won 92 games. And you're going to sit here and tell me, that
they're inferior?
That those pitching matchups and their bullpen don't make it so that if you're in a close game, you guys can shake your head all you want, but it took us 5 games to beat them.
Their lineup is... They suck, dude.
Okay, so hold on. Their lineup, which had half the homers, because I know the stat, Costas couldn't say this stat enough as he was broadcasting the fucking games. Their lineup had half as many homers as we did. Exactly half throughout the regular season. But you guys laugh and joke all you want about the bloopers. Again, that night that they walked us off, they had 15 hits.
Yeah,
they pitched the ball.
Them.
They pitch the ball. They make contact. All of us, and they play great defense.
And
all of a sudden, it's like,
we should have swept them.
It's like, hey, real baseball still wins ball games. And you guys were all, they're going to win in 3. They're going to win 3. I said 4. It ended up taking 5. It ended up getting real nail bite-ish. But to an extent, to an extent, you got to say, all right, Cleveland, you had a good show. Nice job. Season's over.
Good show.
Go play golf.
Yeah, good for them.
Go play golf. But I'm not going to sit here and say that, good pitching, contact, and defense can beat you on any given night.
Yes, but
we beat ourselves.
Bro. The Yankees made that series so much more difficult than it needed to be.
So much more.
The Guardians they're good. They're a scrappy little bunch, and I think they won Game 2 pretty fair and square. But complete mismanagement of the Yankees bullpen on that blown game.
Yep.
The series should have easily been wrapped up in 4. It could have been swept if we just locked them away in Game 2.
Game 2. If they just hit at all.
But we didn't. And Tito outmanaged.
So it should have been a 4-game
Boone the entire way.
We completely gave a game away, and whatever. Bottom line is we're moving on. It should have been wrapped up in 4. It took 5. It is what it is. The Guardians are okay, but there's levels to this, and
I was low key. I got to be honest. If it wasn't the Yanks that they were playing against, I would have loved watching Cleveland play these games because the infield singles and guys busting it down the line, the little blue pits dunking in, the great pitching, the good defense, the speed on the bags. I would have been like, here's actual baseball being played. It just so happened they were beating up on us in a couple of games, and it was frustrating the hell out of me.
I love that. I love that. I wish the Yankees would incorporate more Guardians baseball into their game plan.
100%. All right, that's sort of what I'm trying to say. That's the perfect way to say
your entire game plan cannot be that. You need to have some home runs. You need to hit. You need to slug.
They won 92 games.
You need to slug.
I know they play in a bad division, but they won 92 games. So
they play in an absolute garbage division. They're not bad. No one said they're bad. I just said there's levels to it, and we are a level or two above them.
Right. So I do want to put this series to rest because we have bigger things. We have bigger fish to fry. But before I totally do put it to rest, I hate to – this is negative stuff. There were multiple times, though, this series where I was pulling my hair out with just, like, some displays of non-hustle type stuff that I just find, disgustingly unacceptable.
Which Cleveland was not doing.
Sprinting, Hicks not sprinting on something. No, you're totally right. Like, Jimenez or somebody, I know these guys are speedy. Just seeing someone hit a ball and sprint out of the box, I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Now, this goes into
how does that – just do that every time.
This goes into managing. It goes into coaching. It goes into getting the most effort out of your players on every single play.
It's all Boone. Unfortunately.
You can't accept that, bro.
Yeah.
It's the playoffs, dude. You cannot have guys not busting it out of the box. But we'll can we leave?
Right.
We'll leave
it is what
let's
it is.
leave that. I do want, before we get into Houston, though, I do just want to get your guys' input on the whole, like, I understand they moved on, but are we really like popping bottles and getting trashed the day before? Be the
final.
Let's not trashed the day before we got to go play Houston, the team that has been our kryptonite now for like 5-6 years.
What were you saying? Yo, make that O'Doul's. That better be some.
I said that
non-alcoholic.
if they're popping champagne, it better be like some Prosecco 0.0.
No, I mean I don't think I didn't see any of the video because I was on the subway home, but.
Dude, they got the ski goggles, the whole deal. The whole
deal.
They're
not drinking it. They're not drinking it though.
They can't be. They're not dumb.
They're
not.
It's all just for show. They're just spraying the showers around. I mean,
I hope, because again, like I get it. You moved on. You did your job. I'm still a little like I would pop bottles for like getting in. And maybe the championship series and the World Series.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. They won the ALDS.
The day before you got to go face Verlander?
They won the ALDS. Like I said, they better not be drinking it. You can't be hungover tomorrow. But
come on.
No, but have some fun. Keep it light.
And go.
Hop on the plane. Get the vibes good. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion.
They're on the plane. Yeah. They're on the way to Houston. They're landing. They're going to their hotel. They're waking up.
Also, hold on. Before we move on to the next series, I just want to hit on the Guardians' inability to challenge a play correctly.
Oh my god, dude!
I don't understand it because
I just don't understand it.
I had the privilege of watching a lot of this on TV, so you guys didn't get a lot of these views that I got. It was bad.
I think there were two missed challenges that they had in Cleveland in Game 4. That I'm sitting at home watching the game. I'm like, all right, he's out or he's safe. Clearly, it's clear as day. And then they're challenging. I'm like, what? Like, this is your job. How are you not?
In like 3 innings, they were out of challenges in like the third.
Right, and then today, Cam and I are at the game, and what was it? The Jimenez ground ball to Rizzo.
He was safe by an hour.
Yeah, and then you sent the replay. He's safe by a half a step, and they don't challenge it.
Bro, he was safe by. I mean, it was ridiculous. You had to time it on a calendar by the gap between his foot and Rizzo's glove.
Right, you texted us. We checked it on Twitter on like some pixelated video, and we saw we were like, oh, he's
immediate.
Yo, I'm sorry. Like,
are they kidding?
If that was
fireable offense.
If that was like offense. Boone in New York City, like, dude, there would be picket signs in.
Hold on, don't you guys? Don't you remember same matchup 2017? How much we were getting
Girardi, yeah.
I don't have my finger on the pulse of like the Guardians fan base, but like I would be furious.
Oh, big time.
Like,
that's
what?
3. That's
And like,
And
all right,
last piece.
Please.
Bye, Naylor. Bye.
See
you later.
He ain't even worth the time.
See you later. No, what a bozo, dude. What a
bro.
He ain't even worth the
bozo.
time.
Come
You know he's a
on.
maniac. That guy's an absolute
Cool, dude.
he's a
Now your
lunatic.
team is losing by
Yeah,
less.
now you lost.
Cool, dude.
Yeah, it
nah,
wasn't
I
even a
mean, it was
game
like the
time. It was
entire.
big
I was
time.
watching MLB Network after the game. It's just like the entire MLB community was like, "What is wrong with this guy? Like, what?
What is
yeah,
that?
what?
And dude, Harold had me crying on MLB Tonight with Dan Plesac going, and Amsinger was like, "No, you can't do that. It's a playoff game." And Harold goes, "You bet your ass people would have been doing this in my time in a playoff game. It doesn't matter." And he points over to Plesac, and Plesac is like, "I'm not saying I would hit him, but I'd hit him."
They'll save it for next year. Let's move on here. It's time. Here we go again. Yo, it's time. They're winning this series. We can't do this again and lose again. I think Aaron Judge is gonna refuse to not win this series. So we'll start.
Give me someone. Give me
Tyone
their.
Verlander.
Someone give me their rotation quick. It's Verlander,
Verlander,
Javier
Framber, I think,
Christian.
is
What's his
game
name?
2.
Javier. What the?
McCullers is gonna go. Christian Vasquez, right?
No, Chris. No.
Or Velez or something.
Why am I blanking on his name right
Framber
now?
Valdez.
My
Is that who
no.
you're thinking
My
of?
computer's too slow to look his name up. Why am I blanking? The guy who no hit us. Christian Javier. What's his name?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Why am I blanking? But this is every team now at this point. They have the starting pitching and they have Jordan.
Yeah. Well, they got more than just him.
They have
got
Jordan Alvarez. He's terrifying.
Bregman's scary. Altuve's scary. Brandon and I were just talking about the offense. Obviously, I think Gurriel slaps you up sometimes. with
Is
some base hits.
Altuve scary if he's not going to be facing Chapman? Jordan's really the only one though that terrifies me. The other guys, I know Bregman, I know Altuve, I know Gurriel, I know all these guys have been a thorn in our side. I know Pena, but like, am I scared of Pena? Jordan Alvarez is the only one that scares me.
He's the guy, but we were talking about it just before we started recording. There's 4 guys in that lineup that you need to get by.
We just named them, didn't
Right.
we?
It's Altuve, Bregman, Jordan, Tucker.
Tucker. I forgot about Tucker.
And then you got Gurriel, Pena. And then who's their 7, 8, 9? Like Maldonado.
They have Christian Vasquez now as their catcher.
Or
don't
Vasquez
they?
is their catcher.
But he always, for
Who
some
else?
reason, when
Who
he was
else
in
rounds out
Boston,
their
he
team, though?
always
He
hurt
had that
us.
walk-off
Who rounds out their
Always
team?
hurt
though?
us. Well, that's
They got
basically the whole squad.
Then you got Chaz McCormick and like who plays center field for them? That guy Dubon or something? Like
All right, but hold on. We just rattled
let me pull up their lineup. Hold on.
Forget the names. Here's the
It's those
reality
4
of the
guys.
situation. This has been
Trey Mancini, I guess.
Trey Mancini is another name. Whoa. So this has been now, though, since 2017. They have been the team that we cannot get past. It has to finally happen.
Yeah.
It has
and
to.
I think it will, honestly, for that just like simple reason.
The baseball gods one time
we just
need
got
to
through,
open up and let us
Cleveland.
pass.
We just got through Cleveland. Judge hit 2 homers, which for most people in a 5-game set is pretty good.
But he caught the sombrero. He did not look great.
There's no reason for me not to believe in Judge becoming like the legend that he's like born to be. I feel like
Dude, the
62 homer
the big
season.
fella's gotta get
he
hot.
comes out now in the CS. He drives us through this CS, gets us to the World Series, and we pound to oblivion one of the National League clubs. So I know that's not some descriptive, like, in-depth look at this series here, but I was so pissed off last night about everything going on, hoping they'd win this game just to get the shot. Here's really the talking point, honestly, for this series as Yankee fans, is the reinforcements we're set to get right now. Marinaccio is supposed to be back. That's huge.
That's huge.
Huge.
That's huge if he can come back.
I don't think Benintendi's playing tomorrow, but I think he's going to be on this roster.
How much can I expect out of him? I don't know.
Yeah, so
put him in left.
Marinacio's the big one, if you ask me, because the bullpen's the worst part of the team right now.
Montas might be back. What's he going to do? I don't really know.
Loaizaga, Peralta, and Trevino have been great.
Yeah.
They've been great.
I agree, bro.
Okay,
and so is Holmes.
Wandy has been amazing.
So is Holmes.
Amazing.
Wandy's given up the most runs out of all of them.
Holmes has been good, dude. I don't trust the guy, and I'll say it a million times. Good for Holmes, man. This
we've got 4 guys in that pen who, sure, can you fully trust them? Not really, because they can become erratic and kind of throw the ball wherever. But
yeah,
they've been great so far.
Let me ask this question.
The bullpen's not been a problem.
Let me ask this. Well, the bullpen hasn't been a problem until we give up the game because of the bullpen cough up 3 runs.
That's baseball, and that's. Oh no! Well, no. That was complete mismanagement by Boone, and you put Clark Schmidt in a game-saving situation.
I'm just saying.
What are you doing?
Clark Schmidt ain't pitching the 9th against Jordan. I'll tell you that right now.
Where has Herman been?
They've just been reluctant to use him. I mean.
Why? He's come out of the pen before and been good. Like, I would have rather seen him than Clark Schmidt.
I'd rather see him than Tyone.
I like Schmidt.
I don't know if I'd rather see him than Tyone, but that's not necessarily what I'm saying. But where has he been?
I just don't know where
he could have pitched in a couple of these innings.
Fits, to be honest.
Out of the pen right now. He's another arm out of the pen.
In what scenario would you have rather had Herman as opposed to someone else? Maybe Tyone when he pitched that 10th inning in Game 2? Maybe?
Yeah, okay, right there.
Said I'd rather have him than Schmidt, honestly.
Yeah, but still, you're not comfortable with Herman closing out a game in the 9th inning, and that was the only time that Schmidt came in.
What was the reason that Holmes wasn't in that game?
There wasn't. It was miscommunication.
There wasn't. Boone
he had said he didn't want to use him back to back,
and then Holmes was like,
Holmes said, that was BS. That was BS. Boone
didn't trust him. Boone didn't trust him, and that was it.
I don't trust him either. But the bottom line is
so
he's a better option than the guy.
You know what I think that did though? I think Holmes got pissed about that. Yeah. And now he's been pitching with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
So
he still had a couple erratic pitches here and there, but he hasn't had the implosion. God forbid.
So the same time that Plesac and Reynolds were talking about Naylor and getting him plunked and how he should have been plunked, even though it was a playoff game, Plesac then went on to talk about Holmes, and he talked about the fact that when you have a guy that just throws sinker after sinker after sinker after sinker after sinker, the tendency is to miss away because you try to start the ball on the outer half of the plate and it runs off the plate. And so Plesac said, as an ex-pro pitcher, I was listening to him break it down. He was convinced that Clay Holmes is back and fully back. He said even when he's fully back, you're going to see him miss the zone.
He might walk a couple guys.
Just because that's how the sinker plays. But unlike Chapman, who just cannot find it, he said Holmes and the sinker will eventually get the swings, the misses, the swings, and the weak contact.
I don't want to hear his name ever again. Chapman, to be honest.
I'm just saying it's funny you bring him up, right? Because me and Brand had this conversation, I think today or last night or something in the stadium, where it's not fair for me to put Holmes in the Chapman category of how much I don't trust him, but
you can't no way.
No, I know, but we were talking they're both erratic to the point where I can't exactly trust that they're going to be able to throw strikes. But the thing with Chapman was not only would he not throw strikes, but when he did, they got pounded. At least when Clay throws strikes, there was some wicked 99-mile-an-hour bowling ball that's going this way that way. Chapman's strikes were a slider that sat in the middle of
Clay
the plate.
Has some of the nastiest shit I've ever seen in my life.
He throws baseballs that I don't know where it's going.
So so hearing Plesac break it down, I don't know, I understand how pitchers pitch and how different pitches move, but hearing him, an ex-pro guy, break it down and say, hey, a heavy sinker baller's gonna lose the zone every once in a while, it doesn't mean he's off. That, I was like, all right, I kind of buy into that. Whereas with Chapman, it was always he can't find the zone with a straight four-seam fastball.
Chapman's out.
That's totally different.
Brandon, too, was funny because he was like, the flight path of this dude's pitches, the way he must have to pitch is like the way Brandon plays his slice in golf. Like he must have to like aim like 5 feet outside of the box, so when he throws it, it just comes all the way back.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Brandon plays a wicked slice, but it works.
Brandon sets up at a 90-degree angle the other
and
way.
Y'all shot a 79.
So if
oh,
how many Eagles you got, Brandon? How many?
1.
I got double that.
But,
I got double that. All right,
so I was thinking. I just saw a video about DJ. DJ said
haven't even thought about
DJ
it.
said he feels comfortable swinging the bat, and it's just a matter of him having a conversation with Boone and getting in the lineup. So here's my thought process, because I don't believe Benny has faced any live pitching. I could be wrong on that. I would like for Benny to play left field, but I just don't know how much of a realistic expectation that is. What if we did this? What if we put G in left? Because Houston's a bandbox. Left field in Houston is like playing in a little league
field. Tell him if you have to go back on a baseball, just turn around,
play it off
the
wall.
Crawford
It's
box.
like playing at Fenway, basically. It's like that wall is like 310 feet.
Unless it goes out, the Crawford boxes. But unless it goes just beyond that, there's a weird cutout.
Right, but that's all Bader. That's all Bader. That's all Bader territory.
Yeah, that's right. left
so
center.
I'm saying,
where that cutout begins.
You go G, Bader, Judge.
Yeah.
DH, DJ.
Yeah, I mean listen, that's a possibility. I've always preferred to have Giancarlo playing the outfield. Always. And at this point in the year,
or DH Carpenter.
Play.
So my thing with Carpenter is,
does he play left?
Obviously, I really love Carpenter, and he was huge for us this year, but I think we caught lightning in a bottle there, and I don't know how much more he can give us in this postseason. I just don't. I really don't know.
There's no saying he doesn't go back to just being the Carpenter he's been for 4 years now. Which
Bram,
is
what happened
not
to
good.
you? What happened to you wanting to put Peraza at short and Cabrera in left?
No, I never wanted Cabrera in left. I just said I wanted Peraza at short. I just want Peraza at short and Cabrera on the bench.
Yo, I do think
but that's
field,
not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Left field is not Hicks, so honestly, it's
Benny
either
or G.
It's Benny, G, or Carp. Carp might be out there.
It can't be low.
Again, I don't know why. And this gets no love. This gets no love. I don't know why people wouldn't think about putting Marwin Gonzalez out there, considering he's played in Houston.
Dude, he sucks,
but it's
bro.
Not. It's the bat, bro.
He's
you need
garbage.
A bat.
You can't have a dead spot
something.
in your lineup like that.
Right. Of all the other guys we just said, Marwin's bat is 3 rings below.
You can't have an auto out in your lineup Carpenter, like that. You just can't.
I mean, you have one. You have no idea what you're talking about with Benintendi. You have no idea what he's going to provide when he comes back. Brandon,
I know what Marwin's going to provide.
Brandon just said we caught lightning in a bottle with Carpenter. That might be done. So.
Touché.
So, what are you talking about? Marwin knows the outfield. He's played in Houston for a large part of his career. He's played in big moments in Houston. He knows the field. He knows the dimensions. What are you talking about?
Touché. I mean,
when do they probably have to turn in the lineup by tonight, right?
Like, yeah, we're going to know
not the lineup,
like
the roster.
The roster.
I'd be curious.
You're telling me you don't think Marwin's going to even be on the roster? He definitely will be. He'll definitely be on that roster.
No, he'll be on the roster.
Yeah.
Oh, actually. Yo, I don't know if Benintendi
so
and
Hicks
is
3
out. New guys come back.
They're gonna replace Hicks with Benintendi.
Okay.
There's a world where IKF is not.
What spot does DJ take? LeCastro?
No, they love LeCastro as that pinch runner.
Why? If you're not going to play Cabrera Cabrera as the pinch runner.
Peraza got like 40 bags on the minors.
So use Peraza as the pinch runner.
If you're bringing up Peraza, then IKF has no reason to be on this team, and they're not going to leave him off. Honestly, I don't think we should do this whole roster crunch right now
because it
doesn't
come
out. We're going to look dumb if we're wrong, and
well,
by
we will
the time
be.
people
We will
are watching
be.
this anyway.
But no, my whole point is, and it's a very unpopular opinion, and nobody seems to give it any credit or any thought at all. I'm not saying Marwin's going to come and slug, 890, but the guy played in the environment that we
cannot
are now
start.
going to play
He
in.
cannot start for this team. He just can't.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
hurt
bad
just
look,
to see his
bro.
name in
That's
the
a bad
lineup,
look.
honestly. And honestly, I've been pro Marwin for a portion of this year. If you guys,
It's
remember.
got-
I'm not
think he
trying
is-
to say that
he's just a
I'm
professional. Like,
not
he's a
trying to say that
professional
Marwin
player.
is something that he's not. I'm not saying you stick him 8. You have a guy who knows the field playing left, and you see what you get from him at the plate. He's
It's gonna be
big
interesting,
spots.
man. It's gonna
we'll
be
see.
interesting.
You know what you might see is you might see what we saw 2 games ago, and you might have Cabrera in left and IKF at short again.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, you might. You might.
I hope not.
You
'Cause
might.
Cabrera hasn't played a great left. Honestly, he had that nice play in game 1, I think it was, where he jumped the stands. But dude, those bloopers. Although, all right, we're finally playing a team that's not going to have 14 bloopers every game, where you got guys colliding and not calling. Like, I honestly,
Yeah, but
for
you are
real,
playing. You are
I've
playing
never
another
seen-
contact first team, so you do need to have a good defense out there.
Yeah,
because
no. You know what? I actually would trust Cabrera out there, but I don't trust IKF at short. So if you have Cabrera in left, you have IKF at short.
I
don't
wouldn't
think you
touch
can do
Cabrera
that.
at short at this point. I know he hasn't
wouldn't
done any,
either.
I know he
I
hasn't
wouldn't
done
either.
anything at the plate, to be honest, but I wouldn't touch him at short because
I wouldn't either.
now the kid has some big environment, big loud crowd noise moments
Yo,
under
I'm-
his
I'm-
belt.
Although he had an error
Yo.
today, but
G needs to be in left field. That's the lineup.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
That's the lineup.
Yes. Yes.
and then you can
Yeah.
DH, DJ, or Benny,
Park,
maybe.
one of
Yeah,
the two.
and
Yes.
either.
Or
Whoever's
Benny. Any of it opens.
it
Yeah,
just
gives you
opens
an-
everything
gives you
up, bro.
a huge option. Yeah.
Now, why? Hold on. What was? Go back, because he hasn't played the outfield since coming back. And what was the injury he came back from later in the
Achilles.
season? So that all right.
Come
so,
on,
yeah,
man. The
that's why
guy's
they're
mobile.
not.
He's been playing, running the bases. Come on, the guy's fine.
And again, now it's ALCS.
What do we got to lose?
ALCS.
Yeah, what do we got to lose?
Come on, you got to put
What
all
are
your
we-
chips
what are
on
we
the table
saving them
here. Let's
for?
go.
Come on. Let's go, big boy.
Come on.
Let's go.
We're a series away from the World
let's-
Series, bro.
Let's show him a little love. We haven't
Yeah.
shown him a little love at
Yeah.
all.
Today
yet.
was
and
huge, bro.
you knew. I was actually saying to a bunch of my kids in class, I was going, boys, listen, need to score early, because if it ends up in the middle to late innings and we got like Karinchak and Clase in a 1-run
In a
game,
world of
that's
hurt,
bad.
yeah.
So we got
I
to
was so
score
happy.
early. Boom,
Yeah.
3-run homer.
The funniest thing
I
is
was like, yo, give me 4 in the first. We got 3.
Cam and I's thing whenever Giancarlo comes up is we go, uh-oh, look out.
Yo, we let them know. I don't
Watch
want
out.
anyone getting hurt. I don't want anyone getting
Like, yo,
hurt.
if you're playing third
God
base when
forbid someone
Giancarlo
takes-
comes up, watch
Yeah,
out.
yo, look out.
Yo,
Heads
Dude,
up.
the ball, you got. I don't know what your guys' view of it was, but the line out
I thought it was
he
a
had,
double in the gap,
The line
dude.
out
If
he
the ball
had to
didn't
let-
go down.
No,
Oh,
the line out he
that
had
was
to
a
let.
laser.
Dude, that
Laser.
ball looked like it
Oh
came
my
off the
God.
bat on TV, 300 miles an hour.
Yeah,
Yo,
it
it's
was
literally what we
ridiculous.
said watching
he
it.
seems to be
Yeah.
he seems to be finding his groove. I know he didn't have like the greatest series. I think he was like 2
I
or
don't
3
care.
for 15, something like that, but he
Don't
seems
care.
to be finding his mojo, which is nice. And him
I
and
have
him and
confidence, man.
Judge, it's kind of been like the thing with Judge his whole postseason career is if you look at the numbers, and I haven't in a while, but it's
He
like
was
the average
230
is
coming
pretty
into
low,
this
but
year. He's probably at
yo,
200.
he hits big home
Big
runs,
homers.
man.
Yes.
Both
Right.
of them
Yes.
come
Right.
through in big spots.
Right, the
Yeah.
clutch gene for Judge is undeniable
there.
at this point.
It's there.
He has enough moments in the clutch to now say,
Dude,
when
he's
he's
got
at
a
the plate
ton.
in a big spot, you're confident. No matter
I'm a
what
sicko. I
he's
can
done,
name
no matter
all
what
of them.
he's done.
But yo, I remember people in 2020. He had like 3 hits that whole postseason. 2 of them were huge homers.
Hey,
Like
we got Judge Verlander tomorrow.
Oh man.
I'm pissed because I'm
Oh,
actually.
man, the
I'm,
nerves
like,
are
at some
already
bar
setting
the
back
island
in,
watching
man.
it. Yo, I'm like taking a breath right now because, dude, honestly, this whole series has been like unnecessary stress. That this was not enjoyable. Not even just typical playoff.
Think about
tough
what it's now going to
baseball
be
to watch.
going back against Houston.
Yeah, I honestly think this game 1 is. You know, I'm not even going to say what I was going to say because, honestly, when the game starts, I'm going to be biting my nails as I always do with this type of stuff. But something in me, and it honestly what it is I was just at Yankee Stadium and watched them win a really solid playoff game. So I'm just feeling good right now. I see no reason as to why this team, like, can't or shouldn't I know Houston's really good.
no,
I'm tired of hearing how good the Houston Astros are. Screw them.
Honestly,
like whatever
final notes,
is.
and I said it before we jumped on, is I think us and Houston are like mirror images in terms of our teams. If you look at our 1, 2, 3,
pitching, our starting pitching.
We both have a solidified ace. We both have a crafty lefty as a number 2 with a sub-3 ERA, Framber and Nestor. And then you got McCullers and Severino, both guys who have ace stuff in them. And then our offenses are very similar.
Is that their 3? What happened to Javier?
No, it's McCullers.
Okay.
Yeah. Javier hasn't. No, it's McCullers.
Okay. I'm asking.
Javier was really good.
I will
though.
say this. Listen, I will say this, and this is just an honest assessment of the two teams. They have the better lineup. Period.
Yeah,
they do.
Until Judge returns to
form.
So
their 8 hitter is Trey Mancini. They have the better lineup.
Forgot about Mancini.
So this is their lineup.
So
Altuve, Pena, Jordan, Bregman, Tucker, Gurriel. Dude, I don't know. That bottom 4 doesn't scare me in the slightest. It's
read the bottom.
Gurriel destroys us.
Gurriel hits
stupid.
Gurriel,
hair.
Mancini, McCormick, Maldonado.
Wrong Gurriel, right? Wrong Gurriel.
Is Yuli in Toronto now?
Lourdes is in Toronto.
No, Yuli's in Houston. You're talking.
Dude,
about
Yuli's got stupid hair too.
Yeah, they both do. But
oh, my bad.
He's an idiot. Dude, Yuli had a sub 300 on base. He's like 38 years old. The guy's kind of washed.
All right, none of those. Honestly, none of the prior numbers matter anymore because the reality is Houston has been in this spot and succeeded time after time after time.
That means a lot. But
it does mean a lot. It does mean a lot.
Aaron Judge is earning his cat. Like it's just like
I'm not saying
the
Yanks
baseball
are going to win.
Lore. It's destiny.
Let me get dramatic. Baseball lore is about to unfold in front of us over this next week and a half. It's going to be glorious. So just soak it in.
It's going to be wild, stressful, but glorious all
Can
at the same
Judge
time.
go on a run to cap off the greatest season of all time?
It would. Oh, just the Well, we're gonna watch. We're gonna cap this.
No, because seriously, can you imagine Judge 62 homers, MVP, World Series champion?
ALCS MVP.
Can you imagine that?
World Series MVP.
I know. I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's.
I absolutely can.
It's
imagine.
written.
By the way, Philly, San Diego going to the ninth, 2-0 Philly. San Diego getting shut out at home.
Wheeler shoves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we ain't talking about that.
Yeah, that was just a side note. That was just a little side note.
Nah, fair. Hey, listen. ALDS, more stressful than it needed to be. The superior team won, and it's go time. So, Tyone, let's go.
Tyone.
Let's go. Let's win game
Oh,
one.
J-Mo.
Take one of these two in Houston, and the Bronx is going to be popping.
I can't believe there's no break. We play Houston tomorrow.
I know, it's sick, dude. The MLB, I won't say what I'm thinking because I'd probably go to jail for it. But what MLB did,
I want Manfred dead.
I want Manfred's head on a spike. Period.
It's disrespectful to their own product, and I can't. It's not cool because it's the product that they are selling. They have butchered, and the playoffs are supposed to be. You let every team play at its absolute best. Let the best talent display itself, and what do? They do what they did, and now we've got guys on a plane flying across half the country to play the best pitcher after they just played it.
And beyond that, and I texted this the other day, beyond that, I'm looking at Philly and tip my cap to them. That good for them. They got hot at the right time. But what's the point of a 162-game season?
Yeah.
It's to find out who's a playoff team and who's not. And now you're just opening the door for everybody.
I think we're at the limit. It's still because I think Philly had 87 wins. Like that's good.
All right, let's not go down this road. But if they add more teams to the playoffs, I might consider not being a baseball fan anymore.
You can't.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to because of this. They're printing more and more of it.
They'll have expansion teams in probably 10 years from now. But who cares about that? Let's go Yanks. Anybody watching this? Let's go Yanks. We had a bunch of comments on a bunch of stuff, but it's about a series that's already passed.
All right, so hold up, closing little note here. So ALDS, we had said last week, I think it was, who the would be, because they don't give it out, but who the would be MVP would be. So who was it in your head?
Cole.
It's either Cole or Harrison Bader.
In my book.
Bader too, yeah. I was thinking about Bader.
But it's Cole.
Yeah.
Cole.
Who is it?
It's Cole.
It's gotta
Cole.
be.
Cole. They don't give
100%.
MVP for DS, but it's Cole. He shoved in 2 games.
Costas. Yeah, Costas said this today during the broadcast. And Costas, you guys weren't listening to many of his calls because you were at a lot of the games. Dude, there was some,
people have been making fun of him a lot.
I agree. I usually like Bob Costas. His call this past couple of days were weird.
hear him.
Anyway, he mentioned and he said, so the Guardians won 2 games, Cole won 2 games, and Giancarlo won the last game. But no, the way he said, the Guardians won 2 games and Cole won 2 games, because that's absolutely correct. It's absolutely true.
So we'll give it a Cole.
So then predictions for ALCS. Predictions
Judge.
You're saying Judge.
Yeah. You got to get the big fella going, man. He's got to
Pick someone else.
I'll pick someone else just to pick someone else and see what happens. I'll pick
big fella.
Or Brain, you're picking Judge too?
Big fella's got to carry us to the promised land. I mean,
it has to be.
I'll pick mine.
G's an easy one.
No. I'm gonna do it weird. I picked Trevino for my ALDS one, and in game 1 he had a sack fly. I was like, oh, here we go. But ended up not doing anything else. ALCS, I'll pick.
I'm gonna go Rizzo.
I'm gonna go Glaber.
All right.
We're picking the easy one. I mean,
is Glaber an easy one?
Castro.
All right.
I'm gonna pick Marwin Gonzalez.
No. You pick Judge. You pick Judge.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick Glaber.
Picking the easy one. You picked the best player in the world.
No, I know.
What?
I just picked what fate dictates. That's what it's going to be. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back. I don't know. We might do one of these games. I mean, this is the last time we're recording at Stanford.
That's right.
Yeah, nobody cares about that. Let's go, Yanks,
you just
baby.
told people
It's
where
time.
you live,
Let's
bro.
do
People
it.
can show up at your house.
I guess I'm wearing Stanford on my shirt right now. Yeah, whatever.
Pull up.
I dare you.
Let's go Yanks, man. This is
Let's
it
go.
now. Oh, I'm nervous already.